How do you know that someone loves you? Is it when they say, "I love you"? Is it when they make sacrifices for you or do kind things for you? In the words of that popular self-help book, what's your love language? In this week's Torah portion, we read about God's love language, and you might be surprised to hear that God's love language is apparently receiving gifts. I was surprised. Our parsha is a double portion, Vayakel Pikudei, which concludes the book of Exodus. The Israelites have left Egypt, received the Torah, made a serious error in judgment by building and worshiping a golden calf, been forgiven for said error, and are now about to build the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary in which the people will offer sacrifices to God. The Mishkan is the symbol of God's presence with the people, the metaphorical house of God. The Israelites have received a long, detailed list of materials that are required to build this structure, and they have received a long, detailed list of instructions for how to build this structure. This is no small task. To make it even more challenging, God wants the people to donate the materials and build the structure only with the proper intention. Moses tells the people, "Take from among you gifts to Adonai. Everyone whose heart is so moved shall bring them." Moses continues, "And let all among you who are skilled come and make all that Adonai has commanded." Everyone with a nadiv lev, a generous heart, is invited to contribute materials, and everyone with a chacham lev, a wise or skilled heart, is invited to build the Mishkan. This project is going to take a lot of heart. This was a good Torah portion for you, Lev. I think this was beshert. It was meant to be. We soon find out whether the Israelites are up to the challenge, and I'm happy to say they rise to the occasion. We read, "And everyone who excelled in ability and everyone whose spirit was moved came, bringing to Adonai an offering for the work of the tent of meeting and for all its service and for the sacral vestments." The people are so generous, they keep bringing donations day after day until Moses actually has to tell them to stop. This is something that has never happened in another synagogue fundraising campaign since the days of Moses, just so you know. The people have outdone themselves. So strong is their desire to show their love for God and for the community. The commentators add more layers to this already remarkably successful project. Nachmanides, the great 13th century Spanish scholar, suggests that the Mishkan was built by people who undertook to do the work, although there was no one amongst them who had learned these crafts from an instructor or had trained his hands at all to do them. In other words, the Israelites were somehow able to take on the woodworking and metalworking and weaving and spinning and all the other crafts that were required to build the Mishkan without having ever been trained in these trades. Likewise, another commentator, the Orach Chaim, suggests that some of the materials for the Mishkan were donated by those who, quote, lose their sense of proportion because of their enthusiasm for the project for which they donate. As a result, they contribute more than they can afford. In both cases, something is happening to the people's hearts that enables them to go beyond their own abilities, both physical and financial, to give more of themselves than they ever thought possible. That's something that has the power to expand the people's hearts, to increase their capacity to give, is love. Love of God is what allows these ordinary Israelites to create something extraordinary. If loving God is a concept that is hard to wrap your head around, consider the love you feel for those closest to you and how that love expands your heart or allows you to do things you might have thought were out of your reach. Whether it's enduring night after sleepless night caring for a newborn, or making the decision to uproot one's life and immigrate to a new country in search of better opportunities for the next generation, or bringing one's child to temple on a Friday night to celebrate receiving a B'nai Mitzvah date, there are almost no limits to what a parent will do out of love for their child. We've seen the devotion and care that many people show their aging parents, often at great financial or emotional cost. The support we offer friends in times of need can be as small as lending an ear, or as large, as momentous as donating a kidney. In all of these ways, love causes us to have a nadiv lev, a giving heart to others. And if loving others makes us generous, it is also true that being generous makes us more able to experience love. Our commentators notice that the building of the Mishkan comes directly after the sin of the golden calf, and many suggest that this project is therefore an antidote or atonement for that sin. As one modern scholar, Rabbi Aaron Lieb Smokler, puts it, the relationship between God and the Jewish people, so new and precarious even without this drama, suffered a tremendous rupture in its wake. But it was not God who needed coaxing back into the relationship. It was Bnei Yisrael. Though God never ceased to love them, even in the face of grave sin, they ceased to believe that they could be loved. This feeling of unworthiness was the lasting effect of their initial betrayal. God addresses the people's sense of their inadequacy by inviting them to experience their adequacy. And God does so through a call to service in the Mishkan. Give of yourself. Get out of your own way, your own narrative of shame and insufficiency. Open yourself to something larger than yourself. Be a nadiv lev. Offer your heart generously to someone or something else. Give out of love, and you will find within yourself a new way to receive love. She concludes, the centrality of generosity in the Mishkan, that meeting place of God and human beings, stands as testimony for all time that generosity of the heart has the power to heal the heart. Cultivating a generous heart brings more love into our lives. That love has the power to expand our capacity, to give more than we thought we were able to, and to grow in ways we never thought possible. And fittingly, it is a gift from the one whose love for us is boundless. Shabbat Shalom.